What is going on? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Listen, it is a Friday night and it is a Purple Friday Q&A. We're only going to be here shortly because, listen, we have an obligation that we set when we said we were going to do 31 days of content. And by golly, we are almost at the end. So we've come here tonight to just check the temperature of the Ravens fan base, see what's going on with everybody, how everybody's feeling about this game tomorrow. Because listen, we are less than 24 hours away from the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and hopefully, the Ravens can go in there and get this win. But before we talk about the Ravens Steelers game, we have to talk about the latest Baltimore Ravens news. But before we get into that, how are you doing today, Yolanda?
Good evening, Hendo, and everyone in the chat. I am doing okay. I'm a little tired tonight, so I'm not my normal effervescent self, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna rally something together to put on a really good show. How are you tonight?
I'm tired too. Like after this, I'm taking a nap. Like I'm exhausted. For some reason I can't sleep at night. I don't know if it's the Steelers game. I don't know what's going on, but I just have not been sleeping this week much at all. So that's that.
But hope you get some rest. Yeah. Get some rest, family. Get some rest tonight because we are going to need it. Tomorrow is a marathon for the books, for the ages. Hendo, myself, Suge Knight will be back live streaming the game. Then after the game, we will do a live show where we recap the game. And then after the show, there's an after party and then after party and after. I'm just kidding. But just tomorrow, you're going to see our faces all up on your screen quite a bit.
Do I have to be here? Okay,
you do.
All right, let's get into this breaking news. Oh, I'm sorry. You call it breaking news. I just call it another day at the office. If you don't know by now, the Baltimore Ravens have released wide receiver Diontae Johnson. Now, for me, this was not a big surprise. I thought that they personally should have done this a lot sooner. They knew that they were going to release him once he was not going into the game. You could have given him an opportunity to at least sign with a team by now, but he has to wait until waivers this weekend. If he passes waivers, he'll be cleared to sign with any team. But I'm sure that there will be some team that's going to pick him up. But the one thing that I wanted to preface is, back when I first saw this article back in October, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I thought it was super hilarious, stating that from Ebony Bird that the Ravens fleeced the Panthers in the Diontae Johnson trade, but that's DeCosta doing business. That needs to be printed on a t-shirt. And I saw this was like, yo, they gave up a wide receiver that they didn't want, who was a malcontent in the locker room. Like, he didn't have good team chemistry. And we got him by swapping out a pick, and that's him fleecing somebody. So for me, I just thought that was truly a hilarious thing. Diontae Johnson has been with the team since October. He's played a total of 39 snaps, had 1 reception for 6 yards. We traded a 5th round pick to get him in a 6th. So essentially the Panthers moved up, and he's virtually given us nothing added to this wide receiver core. A lot of people seem to think that the Ravens should have waited to trade him because we are down Nelson Aguilar for this game. We don't know what's going to happen with Rashad Bateman. So we could have used him in his experience. He has what does he have? He has 2,000, 4,000. How many yards he's got?
I'm not sure, but I know quite a bit.
Yeah, I know he has 12 touchdowns, a lot of receptions, and he is a more experienced wide receiver. So what the Ravens did in conjunction with this move, they brought up wide receiver Anthony Miller, who has been with 6 teams. He hasn't played in an NFL game since 2021 when he played with 1 game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He does have 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns throughout his career, but I don't think that him not playing for about 3 years is experience enough to bring in for the Ravens to capitalize. What do you think about this move?
It doesn't move the needle, that's for sure. So while we continue to experiment with this wide receiver, that one, and, overpay OBJ last year, we just really need to stop playing the game of let's go the cheap route. Let's see what we can get on a bargain. Let's see what we can get on a discount. Let's see if we can, get by with the very least amount for Lamar. Go ahead and go out there, and make a serious trade or acquire a true number 1 wide receiver. Or if you don't want a number 1, get someone who can, certainly with veteran presence, add to and bolster the wide receiver locker room immediately. Go get a T. Higgins.
I mean, that's a little easier said than done. I mean, I would love for the Ravens to correct their mistake that they made when they drafted Patrick Queen instead of T. Higgins, knowing that Lamar needed some weapons.
Mhm.
Instead, we go the cheap route. They're trying to correct their wrongs. They drafted Rashad Bateman. They drafted Zay Flowers. They tried to bring in Nelson Aguilar. They tried to bring in OBJ, Deshaun Jackson, Des Bryant. Like, they tried to. They didn't try hard, nor did they try well, but they tried to do it. And for me, this trade was a nothing trade. I said it when it happened. Like, we weren't really excited about this trade. People were like, well, Eric DeCosta made a move to improve it. He got a better wide receiver who a lot of people thought was actually going to be our number 2, possibly at the worst number 3, because he has been a starting Pro Bowl wide receiver in this league. But to me, I was just like, they're not going to use him. Like, he's new to the team. He was very inexpensive, so they have no obligation to really use him, and they didn't. And his attitude did not make things any better. So to me, this was much of nothing. What's going on?
Yeah, certainly. It was a whole bunch of nothing. We brought him in at the trade deadline just over a month ago, and already he's gone. So what good did that do us? And with his one catch,
for 6 yards.
Hey there. I want to say hello to everyone who's joined in the chat. Thank you all for coming out on a Friday night on the eve of when the Baltimore Ravens show the world that we are back. We are the kings of the North, I hope. Anyway, if you all are hanging out with us, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you are new, welcome, subscribe, join both of our channels because we are bringing you content every single day for the month of December. Yes.
11 more days.
We got this. We got it. But if you have questions for us, please type your questions in the chat sooner rather than later, because this is going to be an abbreviated stream because I need to get a little bit of R&R before tomorrow. Okay. But there's been talk about, should the Ravens bring back OBJ, right? There was talks about that prior to Diontae Johnson being waived. Now, I'm sure those talks are going to escalate. Right. Let us know in the chat. What are your thoughts about the possibility of the Ravens going and getting and bringing in free agent OBJ? Hendo?
What? Why? For what reason?
For the same reason we brought in Diontae Johnson.
I mean, it's 3 games left in the regular season. We brought him in for a full season and he didn't do much for us. So what do we expect for him to come in? He's been injured for most of the year. He wasn't productive on a passing team that truly passes the ball. So what is he going to come in and do for us? Outside of injuries and maybe just being a body to throw in there, what can OBJ do for us? I think he has 9 catches for 51 yards on the season, 35 yards, something like that. Like he hasn't been very productive.
He doesn't have to be. When you have a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, do we have that here? So no. Exactly. So the expectation, at least for me, is that, okay, you're going to Miami Dolphins. You're not going to get a lot of targets. You're not going to be super productive. Now, would I like to see the Ravens bring him back? For what? But now that we have lost, right, a depth piece, I'm going to call Diontae Johnson. That's what it was, really. It really didn't come here to have an impact. And especially now that we are looking at possibly not having Nelson Aguilar because of concussion. And then we don't know the status of Rashad Bateman, especially moving into the rest of the season. I might be changing my mind just a little bit. What do I expect from him if he comes in? I expect him to be a veteran who knows the system because he was here last year under Todd Monken. So I expect him to catch on pretty quickly and be able to contribute, whether it's the last game of the season, 2 games left, or if we bring him in right before the postseason.
But to your point, they've got Tyreek on one side, Waddle on the other. They dictate coverage. Then you got Jonnu Smith at tight end, who's taking everything underneath. So that opens you up as the third receiver to do something. I'm not saying that you should have mind-blowing stats. I'm not saying that you should be one of the front runners for the Triple Crown as far as receiving goes, but you should have more than 9 catches and less than 100 yards. So what is he going to do on a team that doesn't pass very often? Lamar is very efficient when he passes, but he's passing 25 times a game, 20 times a game. And those targets are being spread around. If OBJ has proven that he can't get open with elite talent around him. What is he going to do in his Ravens system? Even though he knows the system, he didn't put up eye-popping numbers last year. He put up 535 yards, and he didn't play most end of thirds. He didn't play a lot of the fourth quarters. We got him in the playoffs, and he looked at Lamar and said, what are we going to do? What you going to do, bro? I know I've been a superstar and I won a Super Bowl, but what are you going to do?
That's
no, like that's not a leader to me. So what is he going to bring to this team? And more importantly, we need people that are actually going to come in here and help us beat these Steelers. We're 1-8 versus them in the last 9 games. Lamar Jackson has not passed for more than 2 touchdowns in a game versus them. We turn the ball over. We have a bunch of penalties. We need to concentrate on something a little bit more than just bringing in OBJ because he is not a fix-all. Tylan Wallace in spot duty has proven that he can kind of pick up the slack a little bit at certain times, but I think for us, running the ball is going to be what's going to help us win. And then somehow, I don't know how he's going to do it, but somehow getting Isaiah Likely a little bit more involved into this passing game, not just have him in there as a blocker. The same thing that you did for Mark Andrews from the beginning of the season until now, do the same for Isaiah Likely, because the more weapons that you have, the more people that you have that can kind of threaten the defense, the more options you have that open up, because you can't double team everybody. I don't think that OBJ is going to make a difference whatsoever.
Yeah. The only thing I would add to that, and you're right, the only thing I would add to that is if we brought in an OBJ, again, the expectation is not that he's going to be a miracle worker. No. But if you can come in and make a big play when we need a big play, I'll take it. Because right now, who do we have, especially with Bateman being a question mark? So that's something that we're going to have to monitor. Should he play tomorrow? Should they sit him? We're going to need him in the future. So will he play tomorrow? I don't know. He's listed as questionable, right? So if we have to be without Bateman, who is the deep threat right now on our team?
I guess Ted Walker.
My point exactly. So if you bring in OBJ, it would be for a limited purpose, to be a depth piece in the event we have to be without Bateman for a game, or we need to put him in rotation to give Bateman a little bit of a break. Hey, Big Woke. Yeah, Charlie Kolar's broken arm. He is out. He is out. Yeah, so that would be my only. Again, I am not here rooting for, yes, let's go get OBJ. And if we get him, we are Super Bowl bound. Go get OBJ because he's going to totally change the outlook of this team. And no, it's not that. It's, hey, we're down the stretch. We're a little banged up. We've got some wide receivers who are deep threats. Who are their replacements? If it was just Nelson Agholor, and we know Nelson, he's sometimes on and sometimes not. But it's Nelson and Bateman. Now, Nelson is going to come back pretty soon, I think, with the concussion. He didn't clear it for this game, but we can expect him back soon.
He wasn't providing much anyway. So
there you go. So that's why that would be my only reason to say, all right, go ahead and bring him in. But that brings us to a point that I've seen several people ask about or mention or comment in the chat. Calais Campbell over an OBJ. Hendo, what do you think? And let us know in the chat. What are your thoughts? Should the Ravens go after Old Faithful and bring Calais back for one final ride to try to see if we can win a Super Bowl this year? For
what? For who? And I'm a Calais Campbell fan. I like Calais Campbell, but he provides nothing in the pass rush. He's a big body. What you making that face for?
He declined.
He declined when he was with the Ravens.
Right.
That's another reason why they let him go, because his pass rush skills had diminished. He's 38 years old. He's strictly a run blocker. Yes, he's a locker room guy. He can provide leadership, but we don't need leadership right now. We need playmakers. We need guys that can come in and make plays. I understand that, Ravens fans feel like that we are going to go to the Super Bowl and everybody wants Calais Campbell to ride off into the sunset with that championship ring. But I mean, and like he says, stop having that Ravens mentality of one or the other. If you really want them, sign both of them.
That would be nice.
If they release him. Right.
That was the whole point. The whole point is if. And there was talks this past week that if the Dolphins do not win this upcoming game, they're potentially out of the playoffs. And if that be true, if the Dolphins are out of the playoffs, there was discussion or questions were asked of Calais, like, would there be a mutually agreeable parting of ways between he and the Dolphins to allow him to pursue something that could be promising this year in terms of a Super Bowl, a contender. So it's one of those things where, I mean, I like Calais Campbell. Put him in there for rotation, because let's keep it 100%. And I see you, Big Woke. I see you. I didn't get a chance to respond to all the comments from the video I released earlier today, but I promise you I will do that, if not tonight, early in the morning. But Big Woke, about Justin Madubuike, I took your point. So I sat there after I read your comment. I saw it pop on the screen, and I said, Big Woke might be onto something, right? Okay, let me look at it from his perspective for a second. I don't know that Justin Madubuike is, maybe he is quick enough to get, generate some pressure off the edge. Maybe he is. I don't know. But to your point, he is doing okay this season. Not like he did last season, but obviously contract year, different. We understand he got his money, so there's been a little bit of a drop off. But why not bring a Calais Campbell to kind of help bolster what we have seen this year as a little bit of a drop off to Justin Madubuike? If Calais Campbell, if all your responsibility is to do this and do this, I'll take it.
That's what Brent Urban is for.
I know, but
and you can't have that liability of Calais and Brennan at the same time.
Yeah,
you can't have that liability. And then you want to take a guy who is underperforming, in my opinion, with Nnamdi Madubuike on the inside and take him someplace that he's not familiar with and have him rush from the outside.
Ooh.
And you think that he's going to perform better than he has at his natural position? I mean, I'm just asking the question. What's up, Jose? I'm asking the question. You think he's going to perform better in an unnatural position than where he's underperforming at where he's getting paid to play at? Like, make that make sense to me.
I'm just saying, I was trying to look at it objectively and to really take Big Woke's point into consideration. If you all hear a noise, I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully the headphones are blocking. It's the Christmas trucks that go by from the fire department, and they have the Santa and waving at all of the children. So that's taking place obviously right now while we're live streaming. But but why are we so concerned about wide receivers, deep threats, when the protection of Lamar should be the priority? I agree. Give Voorhees and Cleveland a try. I'm shameless plug here. I put a video out today saying there could be addition by subtraction, and one of those players that you named, or you didn't name, but one of the players that you alluded to, Osman, is mentioned in the video. So if you haven't already, after you finish this, please go check out the video and let me know if you agree with my thoughts.
Listen to building excuses. But I thought we already gave Voorhees a try. I thought that's what we did. Didn't do well.
I just want to see Cleveland. I want to see Cleveland in, not at center though. I want to see Ben Cleveland in at guard. That's what I want to see. Put him at right guard.
Right. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but that's not what's going to happen. And in this upcoming game, we need to protect Lamar. I don't care if TJ Watt is hurting, is ailing. He's still TJ Watt.
Yeah.
And Highsmith is back. He didn't play the first game. So that's more pressure that they're adding on this offensive line that has not played well versus the better defensive lines in the league. So, yes, our first and number one priority should be protecting Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only thing I would say to that is with Ben Cleveland, you mentioned that, it's not going to happen. Well, it might happen. And again, the only way that it will happen, getting Cleveland at guard, is if Daniel Falele is not well enough to go out there, or
they're gonna put Josh Jones in the spot.
Yeah.
They may rotate. If Josh Jones has to start at right guard, they're gonna take him out for a couple snaps, get him, because he hasn't played all season. So he's
Yeah.
not really in total game shape. And to expect him to play every offensive snap is a little bit ludicrous. So I think that may be the only way Ben Cleveland gets in the game. But outside of that, how about doesn't want to play him? It's a little too late in the season for him to change his mind and say, you know what, I was wrong. Let's see what you got. Because if Ben Cleveland starts the game and he plays well against this Pittsburgh front, fans are going to start clamoring for Ben Cleveland to start the rest of the season. And John Harbaugh doesn't want to hear that. John Harbaugh doesn't want to hear, well, you were wrong for leaving Lele in there for all this time and letting him struggle. So I don't really see that.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah. But to your point, Osmond, you're usually always spot on.
Hold up. I'm sorry. Hold up. Come on, Big Bo. Chris Jones, Nnamdi Madubuike. Come on, brother. Let's get real about these talks. Chris Jones, all pro, best defensive tackle in the game. Nnamdi Madubuike, one outstanding year. Okay, I'm done. What's up, Jay? Yes, it was. 'Twas the
Hey
night
there,
before Ravens.
Jay. Yes, it is. I like it. 'Twas the night before. That's right. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for joining. If you are just now tuning in, tonight is an abbreviated stream. If you have questions for us, drop your questions in the chat because we are going to answer them quickly so that we can go get some R&R, get some rest for tonight. But
be ready for tomorrow.
for tomorrow.
I have my buffalo wings ready. I'm gonna eat my buffalo wings before the game to ensure that we win.
Okay, whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes. I saw someone say in here earlier, Lamar better run. I think that was Andre Jones. Hey there, Andre. He said Lamar better run. Right, he did big well. He made it last season.
No. Okay, let's compare careers. What is he doing this season? What did he do the season before last? You want to go to his one big great year? Let's do careers. Chris Jones has earned the right to do whatever he wants. Chris Jones has earned the right to go against the Ravens and say, you know what? I'm telling the defensive coordinator who I want to line up against, just like he did during the game. Madubuike doesn't have that freedom. He doesn't have that clout. He had one outstanding year, and it was an outstanding year, and he was an all-pro that 1 year. Is he on track to make all-pro this year? Is he on track to even make the Pro Bowl this year? Is he on track to make all AFC North? Don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see, Big Woke. I'm going to keep that in. I'm going to watch tomorrow. See what I see from Justin Madubuike. Yes, Andre, I know you are a Steelers fan. I've seen you around. Absolutely. That's fine.
Please come back tomorrow. Please come back tomorrow.
I hope you come back tomorrow. Don't, tuck tail and run scared. I want you to make sure you come back tomorrow. That we'll be streaming for quite a while. So even if you're watching another YouTuber, just come on over, click that button, watch us, pop in, and say, hey, I'm a Steelers fan. And we're going to say, oh, are you sure about that when y'all are not, y'all aren't winning? But
please do, because during the game, I'm going to be baking and I'll be handing out just desserts and you'll be one of the first. League commander, of course, he always gets he always gets first taste. Pause. He always gets the first because he has the most to say. And he likes a franchise that hasn't done anything since I think I was in high school.
Well,
I was in my sophomore year of high school.
And I'm looking for some certain people tomorrow. I'm looking for league committee. I know he's going to be there. I know, Andre, I hope you will. Okay. He said, you sure will. I love hanging with y'all. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're just still not going to win though. But yeah, we enjoy having you around. And the last one, why? That's who I want to see tomorrow.
We ain't seen why.
Well, we haven't seen why in a couple of days. That's okay. He said he's coming tomorrow.
He ain't coming. Hey, listen, what's going to happen is once the Steelers lose this game, what's going to end up happening is, George Pickens was hurt. If he were healthy, we would have won this game. I'm not going to give y'all the credit for beating my team because George Pickens was there. I thought throughout the NFL it was supposed to be next man up.
Right. And to be honest, we really shouldn't have played TJ Watt. He wasn't 100%, but we played him anyways. He couldn't give his all because he was still recovering from that ankle. I don't want to hear it.
If we lose,
take it with grace. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
I will not take it with grace.
We're not going to have to because we are going to right the ship tomorrow. Ravens flock, if you're in the chat, if you're watching on replay, let me know that you agree with me. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up in the chat. The Ravens are going to make a statement tomorrow. And what is the statement? I'm glad you asked. The statement is, look out, Steelers. We're on the prowl.
Andre, I'm gonna have to say this about Deshaun Elliott. We
so
had him. He
had
never
one turnover last game, and they were like, oh man, 2 turnovers in the game, both by former Ravens, Patrick Queen and the Joker.
Okay. Yeah, he couldn't stay healthy with us. This is nothing new for him. Like,
yeah,
you ain't gonna make a difference. He heard he had to go up against Derrick Henry, and he decided he wanted to sit the game out. I understand. He didn't want none of that. He wasn't ready for it.
That's it.
Listen,
well, if you all don't have any questions, because I sure don't see any questions in the chat. Y'all don't have anything y'all want to ask us? What are y'all eating tomorrow for the game? What helps you get through? You know, Hendo's gonna have his vegan wings. Hey, little Joker, that's my guy. That is my guy. Yes, Jeff J, I see you out 100%. There.
Cam the Baptist, what's going on?
I don't know what I'm. I don't know. I'm probably not going to eat too much close to the game because I'll be a little nervous. No, Big Woke, Falele is not out for tomorrow. He is listed as questionable. I'm assuming that means he'll play.
Yeah. Well, listen, since nobody has questions,
we're going to go up one.
Where?
Andre, right before Queendom Come.
He don't really have a question.
Don't treat Andre like that. He's coming back tomorrow, right?
You have a question? What will be the questions if y'all lose again tomorrow?
Will John Harbaugh get fired?
He won't.
I know, but that'll be the question.
The question will be, if we see the Steelers in the playoffs, mentally, psychologically, do we have enough to beat them? That will be the question. Like, if we lose 9 out of 10 games to the Steelers, it's now not even a question of talent. It's not a question of who has the better players. It's about who has the better coaches, who has the mentality to win when the game is on the line. When you go up against that divisional opponent that you know better than anyone else, because they know Lamar better than anyone. And he has had some of his worst numbers. He has most of his worst numbers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, he has not really had that Lamar Jackson breakout game. But in this year of Lamar, 2024, I think this will be the game. And my bold prediction for this game is Lamar Jackson is going to have 320 yards passing to bring his total up to 3,900 yards, a career high. He's going to have 4 passing touchdowns. It's going to bring him up to 38 touchdowns, which is going to break his previous career high of 36. So Lamar's going to set some records tomorrow versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's what's going to happen.
Absolutely. And I see the comment, Kamal. All right, I see what you're gonna have. You're gonna have a chicken style sandwich, Chick-fil-A style sandwich. Wait a minute now. Agnes said my twin sister's birthday is Christmas Eve, so she's a twin. So that means she got a birthday,
right?
Agnes, I didn't know you had a birthday.
Well, Agnes, is it your twin or is it your twin?
Because if it's your birthday and your twin, because my dad's a twin. And my dad used to say that, you know, my twin sister's birthday. I'm like, wait, it's your birthday too. So
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, but if it's your birthday, Agnes, if it's no, my sisters are twins.
Oh, your twin sisters.
Okay. Your twin sisters. Okay, she has a set of twin sisters. Got it. Okay, well, happy birthday to your twin sisters.
And tell them that Lamar Jackson is going to deliver them a win versus those hated Steelers for their birthday. That is their gift. One step closer to a division title, one step closer to at least the number 3 seed in the AFC.
Yes, absolutely. We're doing that. Okay, summertime birthday.
Love the Leos. I mean, they're not Capricorns, but love the Leos.
We do have a couple questions coming through, so I want to make sure we get to those before we get out of here, because this was supposed to be a 20-minute stream and we've already gone over. Is OBJ healthy? I just want to know, asks Sean Coles. The word healthy, right? That can be defined and interpreted by many in multiple versions. Short answer, is he healthy? The doctors say he is. Now, his play on the field was limited this season, but it could be, like I said, because the Dolphins had other weapons that were more, I guess, important. But I think he's healthy enough to play a couple of games. Yes.
No, I mean, yeah, he was doing his retirement tour. He figured he'd get his last nice paycheck, ride off in the sunset on the bench, no wear and tear. Listen, if they call me, cool. I know we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm just going to collect this check and go home. But the Dolphins said, nah, we're not going for that. It's not happening. So, yes, he is relatively healthy. He should be healthy. He hasn't done anything all season long. Really hasn't done anything in the last 4 years. So, yeah, I would hope he'd be
Osmond,
healthy.
I've never met. I'm sure they're out there. I've never met a twin who have different birthdays. Like you just said, one could be born at 11:55. Like one twin's birthday is December 20th, and the other twin is December 21st. And it's like, hey, we're only 10, 15 minutes apart, but that's, I've never met anyone like that.
And when do you have the birthday party? Or do you alternate?
You have it at midnight, or you started at 11:59. You start the birthday party at 11:59. So
not when they're younger. Not when they're younger. You can't do that.
I mean, I don't know. Then you just have the birthday party on the weekend. I don't know. But what happens if the weekend is Saturday and Sunday and those are their birthdays? I don't have an answer for that.
I know you don't.
Osmond, I agree with you. The most important weapon for the Steelers is not a player, it's his coach. It's the coach.
It's Lamar.
Absolutely.
Agnes says, when the Ravens win, do you think it will shut up Stephen A. Smith's mouth? He's a guest of the governor. Of course it won't. Listen, Stephen A. Smith is one of those guys that he keeps and continuously moves the needle when it comes to Lamar Jackson, because it gets him clicks, it gets him engagement, it gets him popularity. So if Lamar beats the Steelers, now they're going to turn their attention to the playoffs. They're going to say, yeah, Lamar finally got past the Steelers. He had a great game, but what is he going to do in the playoffs? Yes, he's conquered one demon, but that's it. Now let's move on to the next Lamar narrative that knocks him down. Stephen A. Smith will never quit. He will never give him his props, because I thought I heard him and Cam Newton going back and forth yesterday, today, whenever, about Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson actually being the MVP and holding Josh Allen to a standard that they don't hold Lamar to. And
Correct.
Stephen A. was just making all the excuses under the sun why, Josh Allen hasn't had anything to work with. Josh Allen needs help. He's doing it all by himself. But nobody speaks about when they made the change of offensive coordinators last year and they decided to run the ball more and give James Cook most of the attention and the carries. That's when Josh Allen started playing better, when he had less responsibility on his shoulders. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith didn't want to talk about all that. He just wanted to talk about, Lamar out here doing some things. He's nice, he's good, but he's not on Josh Allen's level. What has Josh Allen done that Lamar Jackson hasn't? Because I'll tell you what Lamar has done that Josh Allen hasn't. He's won 2 MVPs.
That's right.
He's leading the league in passer rating. He's gone as far as Josh Allen has to an AFC championship, but Lamar doesn't need the wild card round to get there. Josh Allen does. He needs to play that extra game because he hasn't led his team to too many number 1, number 2 seeds throughout his tenure. Even though he plays in an AFC East, where once the New England Patriots went down, they have a very weak division. So, it is what it is. What's up,
Black Ice wanted to know what time is the stream starting tomorrow. We will start right before the game, so around 4:25, 4:30-ish Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, somewhere around there. Big Reg, how you doing? Wants to know, will this be Tylan Wallace's breakout game?
Somebody asked that question?
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I'm just going through reading just to make sure that I didn't miss any.
No, he had his breakout game versus the Bengals.
Can he have another one? Can he have a part 2? Can he have a sequel?
You can't have a second breakout game. Like, you have a breakout game and then you become consistent and then you make plays. Like, you can't have another breakout. I mean, he may be called on to do more, and now he doesn't have the punt return duty. So, he should get the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Like, they had high hopes for him coming out of college. Mm-hmm. He hasn't kind of lived up to it. He needs to do something if he wants to remain a Raven, because this is the last year of his contract. And I think he has to show them something in the final 3 games as to why they should keep him going into next year, because I don't think that Nelson Aguilar is coming back. And we're going to have a brand new revamped wide receiver room once again going into next season.
Starting all over from scratch. Yes, Andre, we're streaming the game. We are streaming the game. So we will be looking for you, because we want to, ask Andre, you okay? You all right? Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with Andre?
No, I want to ask him that tomorrow during the game. Please. While the game is on. I want to make sure that I'm just going to check up on him. Yes. Yes. Please. Well, I don't see any other questions. If you missed our stream last night and you didn't get a chance to drop your score prediction, let us know who's winning the game tomorrow. Not you, Andre. You don't have to answer. I'm just teasing. I kid. I'm joking. Let us know who wins tomorrow and what the score will be. I've seen some scores that said, like, we're winning by 30 points. I love that. I love the confidence. I love the energy.
Facts.
But the Ravens and the Steelers those games are always very close. I'd love a Jackson 5. I saw someone say earlier, we're going to get a Jackson 5 tomorrow. I would love that against TJ Watt. I really would. But with our O-line, I don't know. I think I did not give my score prediction last night, and I don't know that Hendo did either. So let's do that right now. I'm going to go with definitely my Ravens, taking my Ravens. We're going to protect the house, and it's going to be a lower scoring game. I would say 21-17 Ravens.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. Most Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers games normally are one-score affairs. Like, it's always a tight, close game going into the fourth quarter. But I foresee this game being a game that Lamar Jackson is fed up. He finally has had enough of the talks that he struggles versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's going to throw for a touchdown. So that's 28 points right there. Eric's going to get a touchdown. That's 35. We might sprinkle in a Keaton Mitchell if he can get in there. That's 42. So I say 42-28.
I have a question. This is for everybody in the chat. Is Justin Tucker going to show up and be 100% tomorrow? He was 5 of 5 last game. Are we going to see that tomorrow?
Well, the difference between last game and this game, the difference between last game and this game is there was no pressure last game. It's the Giants. We knew we were going to win. It's no pressure on him. This is a divisional game. This is possibly, if we lose it, we lose the AFC North.
Yeah.
So there is more mounted pressure on him to make his kicks. I don't know if he's going 5 for 5. Hopefully we don't need him. Like I keep saying, stop putting Justin Tucker in positions to fail. He's not the kicker that he once was, and we shouldn't expect him to be. Let's keep him off the field. I'm not confident. I'm not confident in the fact that he could go 5 for 5. And I can see him missing one. I can see him missing a kick.
Okay. So, all right. Because this game really, and I like the scores. I see you, Big Woke said we winning by, what is it, 50, 40 something? Big Woke, 50-3.
Yeah.
That would be luck.
Listen, if we win 50-3, we ain't seeing no Pittsburgh Steelers around here. No. They will not show their face.
Andre's not coming by. Suge's going to get off the screen. He just going to hit the end button.
Lee Commander going to find a new team.
You leave my friend alone. I'm a mess. I'm going to tell Lee Commander, because he left a comment earlier. I'm going to go back and say, Lee Commander, you missed something great tonight. Come by or watch it on replay, because Hendo had lovely things to say about you. But all right. Little Joker, Tucker is the truth. He hasn't been the truth this season consistently. He's starting to get himself back, right? Hopefully the bye week was just the time off that he needed. He really didn't take a lot of time off, because he interviewed and said, hey, I've been at the practice field every day kicking. So hopefully that time away, we saw him last week against the Giants. Again, it was the Giants, but he was 100% accurate.
Little Joker said he left out something. He said he left out the word was.
Oh, okay.
Tucker was the truth.
You better stop. I don't see that. Little Joker. Let's stop that. Hey, Attitude Pop.
All right. What's up, Attitude Pop? How are we doing? How are we doing today?
Got questions all of a sudden when we say we're getting out of here. See how y'all do? Y'all don't want us to leave. We appreciate you. And if you're just now joining, go ahead and hit the like button for us. And if you're new, welcome. Go ahead, subscribe, join the family. Attitude Pop says, do you believe Diontae is going to get picked up by the Chiefs? No. And the only reason I say no, let me take that back. It depends. Hollywood Brown is coming back. They'll need to survey. He's back. So let's see how he does. I'm sure they're going to want to see, okay, is he back? Or is he back with a question mark next to it? Or, so if Hollywood Brown is fully healthy and the learning curve for him has already been conquered because he signed early in the off season and he really knows what to do, and it's just a matter of putting it together. No, I don't think they will. If there's any, slowdown, or if there's any lag with Hollywood, then maybe. The
answer, Attitude Pop, is no. If he clears waivers, there has been a plan that has been in place since he came to Baltimore, after about a week or two, he's going back to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That little charade with Mike Tomlin about, oh, that guy, he ain't nobody. I'm not worried about him. They knew what they were doing. Like, he's playing coy, but he's going back to the Steelers, especially if they don't know what's going on with George Pickens long term. He knows the organization. He pretty much, the playbook is going to be similar, maybe not to what it was, but it'll be similar. He's going back to Pittsburgh if he clears waivers. There may be another team that decides that they may need to pick him up and try him out, but yeah, he's not going to the Chiefs. He's not going to make it to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All
Well, family, we've come to the end of the line in terms of questions. So thank you very much for hanging out with us for 40 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes, it is.
It does. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow because the Ravens have business to take care of. They need to stand on all of their business. Did I say that right?
They need to stand on business.
There you go. That's what the Ravens are going to do tomorrow. They're going to stand on their business.
Stand on business?
Business.
No, stand on business.
Stand on business.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, we do appreciate all y'all for hanging out with us each and every night that we come on here, because for some reason, this woman has me streaming 30 out of the 31 days of this month. And after this Houston Texans game, back to all videos. Thank you, Lord.
Nah, family, y'all take care. Be safe. We will see you tomorrow on the other side of victory.
Yes, indeed. Listen, Steelers going to lose because they suck.